What? Like, who does that? We never had a story where the stylist walked out. Hey guys, it's Traeh, and today's video is another natural hair horror story, you guys' favorite here on my channel. So what is this, like day 4? I think this is day 4 out of the 7 horror stories this week. And I told y'all it was going to get crazy. Y'all didn't believe me, but I told y'all it was going to get crazy. And we have another crazy one today. So I don't know what else can happen. Like, you know, like, it's like, how can it get worse than this? But after the girl found a hairstylist off of Craigslist, you know, anything is possible. But anyway, before we jump into the video, I do want to give some shout outs. If you want a shout out like this, you have to be a part of Notification Squad and Snapchat fam. So after you handle your business, hopefully next time you will get a shout out. Okay, so the email says, Reagan is over here copying me. So the email says, "Hey Traeh, I think it's time that I tell my natural hair horror story. I love watching your horror story videos. Everybody does. They are hilarious. I can even personally relate to some. And I'd like to share mine and see if anyone else can relate. This is going to be pretty long, so if you do decide to read this, I suggest that anyone viewing this grab a snack and get comfy." Okay. Alright. Like she said, go grab a snack. I'll wait. Go grab a snack. You good? You got everything? Okay, let's go. This is a story about the time my best friend and I were dragged to a hair cuttery full of white stylists by my mom. And they completely screwed the both of us. Okay. So it was the day before picture day of my sophomore year at my high school, and my close friend and I decided we wanted to get our hair flat ironed and slayed to the gods for our pictures. I had slept over at my friend's house, and that morning my mom would pick us up to take us to the salon to get our hair done. Seems pretty harmless, right? Yeah. Well, not exactly. Okay. My friend lives in a, for lack of better words, majority white town called Crofton, in like the whitest county in our state. So there was virtually no black hair salon near where she lived. And much to my dismay, my mom refused to take us to a salon far from my friend's house as she had other things to do in the area. So she shipped us off to the hair cuttery near her house. We walked in and my heart sank. Just as I expected, there was not one black stylist to be found in that hair cuttery. And still, my mother would not budge. They looked at us like we were lost, but they still approached us to offer their services, happy to take our money. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a couple of white stylists who know how to throw down on black hair and get it laid hunty, even without causing damage to the hair. But those stylists usually work at black salons and have been specifically trained in the art of taming curls. Unfortunately though, these women were not trained and decided to test their skills they did have on our hair. There was one black woman in the salon getting her hair done, and that relieved my stress a little bit. But I just as quickly noticed that when she had first sat in the salon chair, her hair was dripping wet but straight, telling me that she had chemically straightened hair. That made my stomach churn again. So they sat me and my friend in the salon chair and got to work on us. They shampooed and conditioned our hair, and that was fine, as it's nearly impossible to mess that up unless you're really trying. It was what happened after the conditioning that makes this a horror story. Let's start with my part of the horror story. Okay, because it's like 2 parts, because her and her friend. My stylist for that day sat me in her chair and proceeded to blow dry my hair. At that point, a little bit of my anxiety had gone away, and I was relieved that she at least knew that she had to blow dry my hair before flat ironing it. The problem was she couldn't find her blow dryer comb attachment to use on my hair. After a few minutes of frantic searching, asking around, and realizing that no one else in the salon owned the blow dryer with the comb attachment, she pulled out one of those circular ceramic barrel brushes with the spiky bristles. All those types of brushes do for my wild mane of 4A to 4C hair kinks is create knots and tangles. And mind you, she didn't even bother to detangle my hair while it was wet. So imagine how worse that brush made the tangles I already had in my hair. My hair prefers blow dry attachment combs or at least paddle brushes to assist in the straightening of my hair. So she began to blow dry the back and bottom of my hair for a little bit. Then she stopped for a little bit. I assumed because she got tired. During her break, I reached to the back of my head to feel the hair that had been blow dried. Traeh. My hair felt like straw that had been left out in the Nigerian sun for a year. My hair felt like grass that hadn't been watered in 5 decades. It was dry and crispy. Speaking of crispy, my hair literally smelled like bacon as she was blow drying it. She hadn't bothered to put any type of leave-in or moisturizer or heat protectant into my hair prior to blow drying. She was basically burning my hair. And you knew she was burning your hair! Why didn't you say anything? Oh my gosh. She didn't put anything in your hair. She didn't detangle it. Lord. She just attacked my hair with the tool. The whole blow drying process alone took her a good 2 hours. And by the time she was done, she was fed up with my hair and just left. She left? Didn't wait for a tip or anything. She just packed up and stormed out of the salon, leaving me hanging. I was hysterical and I called my mom and insisted that she come finish my hair. Oh my God. I called my mom and insisted that she come finish my hair, so the manager informed her that someone who was skilled with working with my type of hair would be coming in any minute and would be assigned to my head. I don't think we ever had a story where the stylist walked out. A few minutes later, the lady came in. She wasn't black like I hoped, but she was a Latina with curly hair, and I knew that was the best I was going to get that day, so I took it. She sat me in her chair and put the proper products into my hair to ensure that my hair would get moisturized and straightened well. She kept talking to me and saying things to assure me that as a curly haired Latina, she knew what to do to make sure my hair got done well. Her words reassured me and my hair turned out pretty well. I was satisfied with it until 2 days later. I'd noticed that my roots and like 4 inches of my hair had reverted almost completely, but the rest remained straight. And at that very moment, I knew I had severe heat damage. The day before that, picture day, I saw how my picture came out and noticed that my roots were kind of puffy, but not as puffy as they were on the second day. I will try to find my yearbook so I can get a picture for you. I ended up having to transition with box braids and other braided extension styles. It wasn't too bad, but I still wish I'd never walked into that godforsaken salon in the first place. My friend didn't get any better of a deal than I got. As soon as she sat down in the chair, the stylist took a good long look at her hair, sectioned it, and just began to flat iron it while wet. No detangling, no blow drying, no drying or combing of any kind. She just went straight into my friend's kinky curls while wet with the flat iron. I cringed every time I heard the steam crackle caused by the hot metal touching the wet hair. Each time she passed the iron through my friend's wet tresses. And because the hair was wet, it took about what seemed like 8 passes of the iron for each tress to get it straight. I'll admit the finished job didn't look too bad. It was styled nicely and looked like a voluminous blowout. It was straight, but not as straight as it should have been. Unfortunately, after my friend and I parted ways from the salon, according to her mother, her hair didn't even last 3 hours, which is why I don't even have a picture of the finished result to show you. It reverted and poofed up right after she got home. Her mom was pissed and ended up having to go through her hair again with her home flat iron. All of that to have to flat iron it again. Lord. After all this, my mom apologized for the mess we had been thrown into, and of course I don't blame her, but I have to admit I was salty for a good month and wish she would have taken my pleas to go to the salon closer to where I lived. Seriously, LMAO. Luckily, it has been 2 years since that fiasco and I was able to grow my hair back as I always am fortunate enough to after a hair disaster. That wasn't my first time in the natural hair disaster rodeo. Let me wrap my mind around this. Okay, so we had found stylists that were just close by. We had found stylists that our friends or family members recommended. We found stylists and looked at their Yelp reviews. We even found stylists on Craigslist. Okay? But now we went to a hair cuttery full of white hairstylists. And we don't get a good experience there either. So, y'all keep leaving me speechless, okay? I don't know what to tell y'all, okay? I don't know. I knew this one wasn't gonna go good, okay? It was only white stylists, okay? There are some white stylists that can slay some kinks and coils, but these weren't it. These weren't the people, okay? You guys knew that they were frying your hair. Oh my gosh, when we got to the part where she washed and conditioned your friend's hair and just started flat ironing it. What? Who in their right mind starts to flat iron dripping wet hair? No detangling it, nothing. No heat protectant, moisturizer, nothing. Now I know they know more than that. Like, that gotta be like basics 101 type of stuff. Like, who does that? Oh my goodness. All of that, and it left you guys with heat damage. You said that the end result didn't look too bad, but it wasn't as straight as it should have been. Y'all should have left soon as the stylist walked out. Like, what? I can't believe the stylist left. Like, she just got fed up and was like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this. Grabbed her stuff and left. Y'all, we never had a story like that. We never had a story where the stylist walked out. They already were giving you guys looks like, are you lost? Are you in the right spot? So that was kind of a red flag. Okay. But woo, I can't believe the stylist walked out. She was over it. So anyway, you guys got to do your research, okay? I mean, we looked at Yelp reviews, but some situations we found that Yelp reviews aren't even as helpful. So I don't know. I just don't know. You have to talk to people that actually have personal experiences at that salon or with those certain stylists, because this is ridiculous. But thank you so much for sending me this natural hair horror story. Ooh, it's crazy. If you guys have a natural hair horror story that you would like me to feature here on my channel, you can email me at sentatraeh@gmail.com, and hopefully I will share it soon. But as I always say, I don't think they can get much worse than this. If you are enjoying Natural Hair Horror Story Week, please give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's Natural Hair Horror Story. Bye, guys.
Mama told me not to sell word. Mama 17.5, same color t-shirt, white. Mama told me not to sell word.